If you're like me or anyone else in the Sonic fandom, you watched Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And now that you've seen it and the post-credit scene, you have theories. I have theories. Everyone's got theories. But unfortunately, what I've come across in videos online, I think I figured out something awful. Some may call me a sick man, mostly because I'm actually sick. But I'm here today to tell you that every theory about the future of the Sonic movie universe is wrong. Let me tell you why. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Z-Man Show. Before I take the wind out of everybody's sails, let's take a look at the big theories that are going around right now for Sonic 4. There are of course tons of them, but first let's go over the big one. In the mid-credit scene of Sonic 3, when Metal Sonic first shows up behind Sonic, there's electricity all around him and he's kneeling on the ground. It doesn't look like he landed there, it doesn't look like he ran up to the spot, he just seems to appear in a bunch of lightning. You know who else just shows up kneeling on the ground in a bolt of lightning?
Mama! If you say your mom, you're f***ed! Worth it!
No, a Terminator. That's exactly how a Terminator shows up. I'm sure somebody else has seen these parallels between Metal Sonic's entrance and a Terminator entrance, but I haven't seen anybody else talking about it, so I feel smart. But whether or not that has anything to do with it, it does bring us to the main theory behind Metal Sonic. Where do Terminators come from when they show up like that? The future. Metal Sonic is extremely advanced technology, even when compared to Eggman's drone tech. So it makes sense that he would come from the future, especially since the game he originated from, Sonic CD, has a ton to do with time travel. Oh, and it's not just Metal Sonic. It's a ton of Metal Sonics. Is the first one their leader? Is there a higher level leader behind the scenes controlling them, sending them to the past? A metal overlord, if you will? Then, of course, we get Amy coming in to save Sonic from them. She didn't seem to show up in the electricity with Metal Sonic, so she was either waiting to jump out and attack, or used her own time travel technology, or maybe she's from the current timeline, and she got there just in the nick of time. But she is wearing a mysterious cloak. Could it be the cloak of somebody that lives in a dystopian future who followed Metal Sonic to save our past hero? Or was it just a convenient way to hide her face for the audience? The future theory is the big one. Even without the Terminator part of it, it still seems pretty logical that he came from the future. And that seems to be the prevailing theory among most people. Amy coming from that same future or being already existing in the present timeline, that's a little harder to guess, but it could go either way. But then there are the theories about Eggman. It's heavily implied that he died sacrificing himself at the end of the movie, but it was also heavily implied that he died in the second movie. And at that point, Jim Carrey said he was retiring from acting. But here he is in the third movie, but also dying again, just like in the second. But after the movie released, he said in an interview that he is open to coming back again. Open to it, but doesn't guarantee that he will. So if he didn't come back, they could write him out but still use him for the new plot. Maybe Eggman built Metal Sonic or made the plans for Metal Sonic sometime between the two movies, and then somehow he got built. Maybe somebody from the future found those plans and built them and tried to use him for revenge. Maybe it was Stone? Who knows? Or if Jim Carrey did come back and we got Eggman in the movie, could Shadow have saved him from the Eclipse cannon before it exploded? Did the Chaos Energy not kill Eggman but transport him to another place or even to the future where he would now have access to even more advanced technology? The possibilities are endless. Too endless. All that stuff got me thinking. It's hard to put Eggman into any of my theories for the fourth movie, or any project in between, until I know that Jim Carrey is returning or not. Or at least not in any big capacity. And the more I thought about that concept, the less confident I was getting in my theories or anyone else's. And that's when I saw it. The reason that every theory about the next movie or show or whatever project is wrong. More and more cast and crew interviews have come out for the Sonic 3 movie, and this one with the director, Jeff Fowler, about the post-credits characters is how I came to my conclusion.
How far down the line have you planned for this franchise?
I would say we're taking them one at a time. You can't help but out of enthusiasm and excitement be looking forward to where could things go from here. Especially with we always love doing character teases at the end of each film. The ideas and the wheels are turning on where things could go from here. But for the most part, most of the focus is on what's in front of us. But, Sonic is an amazing franchise. I mean, over 30 years, all these amazing characters, like there are so many exciting directions to go.
And there it is. Nothing that we come up with, other than the fact that obviously the characters that we saw are going to be involved somehow, can be true. At least not yet. Jeff and the writers don't have the story down yet. They definitely have ideas of where it could go, but nothing about what's going to happen next is written in stone yet. So whatever we come up with right now is technically wrong. But does that mean we shouldn't make theories about where the movie universe is going to go next? No! The great news about that is, even though the story hasn't been written yet, it doesn't mean that the stuff we're thinking isn't going to happen eventually. The Sonic fandom and community is extremely extremely creative. So odds are that somebody's theory, or parts of many theories, could end up being completely right when they do finally write the story. Even better, we know for a fact that from the first movie, they've been listening to the fans. They see what we say online, both positive and negative, and I'd say it's a safe bet that they look at the theories we make as well. It may never get you a credit in the movie, but you can always have that fun thought that maybe somebody in the production saw your theory and that gave them the inspiration to do that idea. So while our theories might be wrong today, that doesn't mean that they're going to stay wrong tomorrow.